if one intends to take a career break, which many people do these days. So as a consultant, I do have students. I am an education supervisor and I have students who work under me, and I am a supervisor for them. So I do see sometimes they don't want to take a career gap. Sometimes the doctors want to do less than full-time work, which is an option. And for those who want to have flexibility, I think the system in England does allow that. To the best of my knowledge, based on my time when I trained in India, of course, that it's not very easy to have these flexible systems in India. In England, you can have part-time training. For some people, work 60% or 80%. It's not just about maternity care or so. Sometimes there are people by choice who wish to work less than full-time because they wish to have a better work-life balance, or they wish to explore other things, and they may have some interest which lies beyond medicine. And fair enough. And the other thing is sometimes people wish to do research. So if they wish to do research in between, it depends on what type of research they are doing, whether it's a research project, is it a MD research project, is it a PhD research project. Sometimes the research MD or PhD can be for 2 to 3 years. And sometimes it can even last longer depending on where the research project takes them. So when we spoke about 5 years plus 7 years, that's 12 years for being a specialist here. And this assumes that you clear all your exams, you get allocated the specialty of your choice in a place of your choice in the first attempt, which again is challenging. I mean, I once had a nice junior or a nice resident doctor working under me, and in a hospital in London, and he was very clear to me, Dr. Singh, I can't go outside London. My brain doesn't work outside London. I've spent my whole life in London. I'll change my speciality, but I'll work in London. I'm not going to go outside London. Wow. And he did get into specialization training in London, but fortunately it worked out for him. But again, different people have different objectives. Another colleague of his might have wished to stick to their specialty, and they may have wished to go outside to a different city. And again, like we said, the research can delay things by 2 to 3 years. It's not necessarily a delay. It's just like, getting this experience, because once you finish your training, it's unlikely at a later stage you're going to experience these things. And sometimes people also go for an OOP, meaning an out of program experience. Now, the good thing with England's system is that these are formalized. The university and the deanery generally do allow, within reasonable limits, if there is a good program or a reason, they allow you to take an out-of-program experience. Okay. But of course, they do make it clear that the out-of-program experience is not going to be counted as part of your training. For example, if somebody sees an opportunity to be involved in a research project or some type of specialty where they are running trials and there may be a scope to do some publications and research, they can take permission from the university and the deanery to go out of program, to pause their training for a period of say 1 year or 2 years, complete that and then come back. Okay. This can be permitted, but it has to be done via the correct official channels. Obviously, that will extend the duration of training. And like we discussed, if one goes part-time, then it is possible, but again, it extends the duration of training. If somebody works 60%, then they will probably take 5 years to complete what could have been done in 3 years. And if one works 80% of full-time, then they will take 4 years to complete what could have been done in 3 years. So these are possibilities, and that will extend things. And nowadays, some doctors like to take a gap year. I do see a lot of resident doctors wanting to take a gap year, and they wish to go abroad or take a break for 6 months to catch up on different things before they get into the long, grueling training. And that's a choice. And the good thing about England is that this is something that is accepted, in the sense that this may not be very standardized. I mean, there is no right and wrong. I think in India, as parents, we are very focused. You want the kids to be, focused on studies and in a very focused way, where a path is being set in a clear way. Whereas here, things are a little more flexible. And that can be a good thing if someone is looking to take out a career break. Or nowadays, a lot of doctors tend to do, after finishing their foundation year training, they tend to locum, or they tend to work as a locum doctor, meaning they pick up shifts where they don't get into training, and they do that for a period for a year or two. They do this, it allows them to understand which branches they like and which branches they dislike. It also allows a bit of flexibility in terms of they choose to work when they want, and sometimes it can allow better pay.
Sure.